Howdy and welcome to another video with me. I'm Nick and this is London Creative. One of my friends and one of my few subscribers, Pete the Courier Driver, recently did a video where he's tried to edit together some footage that he shot of his day in the life on the courier exchange and driving a truck. And then he asked me to help and explain how to do more than just drag the files into a film editor and make a basic video. So today, this is just mostly to help Peter out, but it is an absolute beginner's guide to film editing. Now, I've filmed a new channel trailer, very quick, very simple, straight to camera, one shot, and the idea is that I will trim it down a bit and add in other images. These things are called B-roll, because your A-roll is your main time, this me talking to camera, and then the B-roll is the stuff that goes over the top, and then you add music, and then you cut it down and make it short, sweet and effective. So this is how we do it. Now you click create new. Different software has different ways of doing it, but you will be presented with a screen like this. Here's Filmora and a screenshot of somebody else's footage. So on the left you've got media and your media project. There's your folder that you're currently working on, and these are other videos, your YouTube intro that you always have colours, and these you'd get rid of, honestly. You can add stuff by clicking this plus button down here. You'll open up your folders and select your footage that you need. This is a bin, and it's where you dump all of your footage that you need. And we'll come to the variants in iMovies to Filmora, but for the moment I'm just showing you Filmora, so it's something different and you get the idea, but they all have the same setup basically. You have audio, titles, transitions, effects, elements and split screen. Let's go back to iMovie and I can show you the rest. On your left hand side you will have your project media, import media. Drag in all of your media you want in and you will drag. We have my media. We have audio. This is where your sound effects and your music will be. Next you have titles. This is just any form of writing. If you want to write something over the screen, if you want to put something down in the bottom corner and make it blur in, make it dramatic, and you just drag and make it run and you'll see what they are. Okay, backgrounds. Should you need something underneath the picture or you want to write, you can drag that onto there, then drag that on top of there, and you can type here. Yeah. Finally, transitions. This is how to fade between shots, etc., which we'll come to and which I use a lot. I mostly use those for, I occasionally use the cross zoom. Very rarely do I use these unless the video leads to it. And that's that. Now, here's my footage. You want this little icon or something similar. You want to find your clip sizes, and you can make the clips bigger or smaller. Show your audio waveform. You can do that and you can see that it's got audio. For this I don't really need it. So there we are. Up here you then have editing for color balance, color correction, cropping, stabilize footage, volume, noise reduction, speed up and slow down, filters, audio filters up here, and types of filters on footage, so you can make it black and white and cartoon and things like that. But for now we don't need that, and that's just information on the file. So for now, here is the footage. I'm just going to drag it into the timeline. With basic film editing footage like iMovie and Filmora, you will only have your A line, this one, a B footage you can add across here. This will take priority over this unless you tell it otherwise. For now I can delete that, and I've got this. Now this will import like this, very small, you can't see anything. Personally all I do is use the mouse pad and stretch and extend it. Again, Filmora will have something different, but you'll have settings. You can adjust the clip size so it's taller or higher, and you make it bigger and wider, and you can show or hide your waveform. On here you want your waveform shown. You've got your footage brought in. First thing you do is adjust lighting. You can make it bright, make it dark, reset it. I tend to add a touch of brightness and increase the contrast a little bit. You can adjust colour and hues and make it warmer or colder. You with me? And then I press play. I'm Nick, and this. You can now run the video through and play it, and when you've got an and R, or you do something wrong or you want to stop it, you press the stop button, and you can right click on your mouse or your button and you get a choice. You play, cut, crop, copy, delete, split clip. I just use the shortcut Command key and B on the Mac, and just learn these shortcuts. It will save you so much time rather than going right click, boom, undo, which is Control Z. Then you've got other options. You can add a freeze frame which will pause the video mid shot. Again, I'm undoing it. You can delete the audio, you can trim the playhead. Again, there's an easy way of doing that, and you don't need to worry about clip trimmers because it's really fine and finicky and it's really not needed. So here we are, we're here, and I'm going to play this through and work out where I need to edit and cut down. So
creative. I used to be a professional photographer.
Okay, that's there. Now I've got images saved up here, that sort of thing. I can just drop them in. I want to drag that down. I get to the end of the timeline and you see these two arrows. If I click that and drag, I can reduce the length of the shot. That is basically all it is every time. And then play. You see there's a big gap in audio here. Talking there, talking there. I click here, split clip there, and clip is split. And the same as doing that there, I can do the same here. I highlight this, take this, and drag. And you have to kind of guess where the audio starts. So the audio's fading there and lifting there. So if I do this, then you can click this and move it. This little line here, see this little line, the blue line, this indicates what clip the picture, the B-roll, is attached to. So if I reduce this down or deleted this, that would remain. Now, up here, you can see there's the timeline marker. But you can see this little ring, and the arrows change from the two arrows with stems to arrowheads with no stems. If you drag that in, it will fade in. Frame by frame, it will fade in. Okay? Now, it also fades out. If you don't want it to fade out, what you need to do is trim the video, and then you can change that fade out back. But for now, I want to get rid of that. So I'm just going to highlight it and press delete. Now I'll take this file, it's a picture of Prince Charles and Prince Harry, and drag it inward. The difference with B-roll is you can click this and push, and it will move and it'll cut in. If you do that with this, it doesn't do anything. It'll end up being on a separate line. Click, delete. Up here tells you how long the shot is, that's 0.4 of a second. Generally you want it for half a second because otherwise it's too short for you to recognise where it is. Half a second is absolute minimum. And take this picture of Prince Charles and move it up here. That's all I have to do. If you filmed vertically and you want to turn it round, you should have rotation buttons like this. You can do that and the picture will rotate. Now, should I want to fade between shots, if I took that picture and dragged it into there, I could go and it'd be boom, boom, a sharp transition. Or you can go into transitions and you can click on these things and you'll see the difference. If I click on that, I can go fade. Of course, I could go blur instead. Or I could fade to black. I could even do a mosaic if I really wanted to. Some editing softwares like Final Cut Pro and the more expensive have hundreds of different things, and you can download many transitions. You can have things coming out of people's eyes and whatever. If you've already got pre-made titles like I've got there, once again, all you do is drag it into your timeline. Now, when you watch my videos, I will often introduce myself and then the music will start to play before the video changes to the title tracks. This is called a J cut. It goes down and over. That's a J. At the other end, that is an L cut because it goes down that way. This is very useful if you're talking and you've got a piece of footage and you want to lead into it. By talking over the end of the B-roll, you can lead people into the next piece. So what you do is you find your piece of video you want, trim it, and then right click, detach audio. Click that, and your audio will separate. Now, if I move this over, on some software, it will say audio linked, and you'll have a link symbol, like a chain link, and they'll link the audio to the video. Remove the link, and then the audio is separate from the video, and you can move it wherever you want. If I drag that to there, that's that, I'll get rid of that, and it goes, and then I would go to there and do the same again, detach audio. Now this is still attached, the green is still attached, so what I tend to do is drag it back a bit so it's now attached to this link, delete that, and just put that, attach that to that, so it,
I'm one of those.
in the same way as you did before, you can click this and drag so it fades, and then the audio will fade much like the video faded in and out previously. So the audio will now play,
I'm one of those.
and the same here, fade in.
I'm crazy.
I don't want all of this video in because it's not needed, and I'm going to hide it. You'll notice that I changed position between the videos, but I need this bit of footage because I missed it out in the final edit. If I click on this, you get little handles at the side. I can drag this in down to there, and it says like there, highlight over top, drag, drop. If I dragged it there and drop that into there, I can replace. It'll ask me if I want to replace from start, replace from end, or just insert, which is what I did there. Now, I'll see at the moment this is jumping about from one to the other, but in a moment I will add in a bit of B-roll over the top, and you'll probably never see it.
People, and my channel reflects that.
And I can fade that in and out so that it goes.
People, and my channel.
I now have audio from another piece and video there. I can drag that into there and take the audio of this, as we did just now, off, move that across, and I can delete that, and we have the same thing. It just makes the file slightly smaller. One additional thing which some video editing software doesn't do, you click on here and then go up to your audio channel. iMovie has this thing, and many things don't have it. You have to do it manually, which is a pain. Lower volume of other clips and then drag that up. When you put a piece of content underneath it, there's music there.
I used to be a professional photographer,
but been reduced to a very low level so that I can still be heard talking, and the music is just in the background.
I used to be a professional photographer.
If you do, however, not have that button, and you have to do it by hand, you'll have to do what's called ramping. It says it there. Press the R key while dragging to create a range. Click the R button and drag, and then you have this bar which will indicate volume. You drag that down, you then have this indicator, and you can ramp up and ramp down the volume. That, pull that there, and push it down. It's right on the edge of the screen. My screen won't scroll down anymore. And it will do this.
And my channel reflects that. I used to be a.
The volume will drop. This is me ending the video. I've gone through and trimmed it all down, and I've got to here. Now this is me zooming in my hat to end. What I want to do is, as it goes like that, click there and end. Delete that. Now there's all these things up here. This is the end board. Drag that in there. And again, the hat's covered in dog hair. I want to go in and go from there, trim, and show you a trick. Now you can crop using the crop tool here. Crop to fill. So if you only want to use 1/4 of the footage, you can do that. The beauty of filming in 4K or something is that when you zoom in, there's no picture degradation. But for the purpose of this, I want to zoom in and go to fade to black. So what I'm going to do is click on that, go up here to this, and click on Ken Burns. Zoom in from one point to another. So this is the end frame. What I'm going to do is zoom in to, say, there. like that, and then the camera will zoom in digitally in a frame. So it's zooming in on the viewfinder on the phone, and it will zoom in. You won't notice the difference between the 2 points. So it will just go fade. Now I want to fade to black. That is too long. That is a second. I double clicked on that. I'm going to make it 0.5 of a second, and then it will fade very quickly. While we're here, knowing me at all, you know that there is a little graphic in London being creative. If I drag that in onto there and play,
In London and
click that. On Filmora you have effects button up here. In iMovie you have this box here, which is the B-roll options, and here we have cutaway is basically the picture over the top. We go from this picture to this. Split screen, so I can do that. Picture in picture would give me a picture up here, and I can move that around where it wants to be, and you can dissolve and fade. Or green blue screen. In some it says it's called, this is a little bit more advanced, but now that's also slow. So what I'll do is I'll go up to the timeline thing here, and you can slow it down, speed it up, add a freeze frame, or do a custom speed. For our purposes, I just need to double the speed. Try again.
in London.
Now, one other thing I need to do. That's too small, don't know. So what I'll do is I'll crop it, frame the picture, like that, and it becomes big. Now, I have one more.
Go down there and click the subscribe.
So I have the subscribe button. Same thing, like that. Boom, let's take that there. This time I'm just going to crop it to fit. Green screen, and then we go.
The subscribe button and come back each Sunday.
We've now got to here, and can run through. I did lots of pictures in over the top, while the audio and video run underneath, and then added in bits of old footage and my books, etc. So I've just added those in, dragged them in, dropped them in as I showed you, and I've just done this all the way through over the top, over underneath here. Now that's it. So now we come to YouTube Audio Library, and you'll be presented with this page. This is part of the YouTube Studio, and here you'll find music that has genres, moods, artists, durations, license type. Got the YouTube logo. That means you don't have to give any credit to the artist when you use their video. If you see a CC, and you have to give credit to the artists, and when you download something, it will tell you this. So, and that's it, and that just downloaded. So you have to take this and copy it to the bottom of your descriptions. If you save music to your library in a YouTube music licensed or no license folder, when you go into audio, you have music, YouTube, no license required. This is music. So you find the piece of music that you want, and then you add it, and you take and you drag down. For some reason, iMovies has now decided that it won't scroll down. You want it there. Now it'll just start. So immediately you want to drop the volume down. So
I'm one of those all-round creative.
now what you want is to click here and go up to audio, lower volume. And you highlight each bit of audio and lower the audio accordingly. So that when it plays,
all-round creative types.
very minimal volume. It's just in the background, just take any background noise or etc. Even here, I have a lot of background noise. But you see where I've not done it, the music ramps up. So I'll go all along here through the video and lower audio to there. I'll separate that, take the audio thing off that so the music ramps up to the finish. One thing you cannot do is once the video has run out, you can't split. You can only split where the video is. You have to drag this back or do this. And it's very annoying. And there you go. You have music, you have video, you have how to edit, you have how to put graphics over the top, and text, and titles. You have one video. That's a lot of files added in. Some things have not been used, and a lot of stuff has been used tiny little fragments of. So now you come to this. You can go here in File, drag down and says Share, click and press File, Export File, and then you got 001. I also mark everything 001 so it appears at the top of the folder. 2021 channel intro, and then you click Next, Save, and it will start to save, and you got a little timer up here. In Filmora, I think it's save, and then there's a download button. So one of those will say export file as a MP4 or a MOV file, and you want it in the highest quality you can. You've made your video, you've done everything, you put it all together. Delete your projects, because once you've done it and you don't need it anymore, it will just take up space on your hard drive. Also, if you have like this, you want to remove the render files. It'll ask you that. It will save so much space on your hard drive. And that's it. Well, there we go. That's how to edit a video. I have done other videos in a bit more detail and a bit more depth. I've edited the Ford Raptor F-150 commercial using only iMovie. It doesn't matter what software you're using, as long as you can trim, drag, crop, add music, add B-roll, etc. Obviously, if you can use DaVinci Resolve, then do so. It's free. You don't have to pay hundreds of pounds. Well, I hope that's been helpful. Peter, has it been helpful? I look forward to seeing the results of your attempts. If you want to see Peter's attempts, there'll be a link up there. And if you want to see more involved videos, like my edit of the Ford Raptor video, and or how to edit in iMovie and Final Cut Pro, go to my channel, click on videos, search for, just type edit and you'll find it. Hope that will help, and I shall see you again soon. Oh, before you go, if this was useful, give it a thumbs up. Leave me comments down below, tell me anything you're struggling with and maybe I'll be able to help. And if this is useful and you're not already subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button and come back each week for more in London and or being creative, not always editing videos. See you soon. Bye. My screen's glitching a bit because I'm recording and editing. This is why my computer's not fast enough to run Resolve or Final Cut Pro, etc.